LEGO just revealed a bunch of Pokemon sets. These are a totally different line than what we saw earlier this year. Those were the 18 plus collectors line. These are the ones meant for play. These are the ones mostly aimed towards kids. 12 retail sets and 1 promo set was revealed today, which released in August, which is insane. It's almost like the initial wave of LEGO Mario. And my gosh, does this share a lot with that LEGO Mario theme. Look at the figures here. They're brick built, which look a lot like the designs of the Mario characters that we got. No minifigures to be found here, which I am a minifigure lover. But yeah, they have a very similar style to that QB style that we saw with the Mario line. And like the Mario line, this has an electronic component to them, which is the Smart Brick. Yes, these are Smart Play sets, which are pretty hated in the LEGO community. But hey, the LEGO community is mostly made of adults, so I wonder if kids like these. I have to say though, if I was a kid, I would find this Smart Play to be kind of a novelty for a couple minutes. Like there's features of the Smart Brick where it will make noises, but when we hear the noises, it doesn't sound like things from the actual properties it's based off of. At least with the Star Wars sets, we don't have any sounds on the Pokemon sets just yet. I'm sure we'll hear it in the coming days as LEGO will probably demonstrate this around town. I mean, I guess lights are kind of cool for a second, but it's even worse when you think about it on Pokemon, where at least with Star Wars ships, okay, you could imagine blasters. Here it's like, oh, the belly of Pikachu just lit up. The crotch of Charizard just lit up. To be fair, they advertise a battle system like you're battling a Pokemon in the actual games, but I can't imagine it being any type of complex when, you know, there's no display or anything like that. It's just going to be some sounds and some lights. And most of the fun with the Smart Bricks come with it interacting with another Smart Brick, and to get 2 of them is kind of pricey. Like you get 1 in this Pikachu set. None of the other sets have just 1 Smart Brick. Then the only other set with Smart Bricks in this way for Pokemon is this set with Charizard and Jolteon. Seemingly you could use the Smart Bricks from the Star Wars line here. Those also have pricey offerings for getting Smart Bricks, especially multiple ones. Like, because it has 2 Smart Bricks, this set is $120 and it does not look like it's worth it. LEGO needs to sell the Smart Bricks separately. Then another complaint I've heard with Smart Bricks is that you have to charge them very often because they die out after around 40 minutes of use. Getting into the sets, might as well start with Pikachu, right? The design of Pikachu has this Smart Brick awkwardly attached on. Like, I really hope we have some replacement bricks to cover up that belly right there. It's so strange to just see these random 2 lights popping out. Beyond that, this QB style, it doesn't really work for Pikachu. It looks off in my opinion, like especially with the head right there. I wish this was more round and game accurate in its shaping, which you'll see, like even with the next set we'll cover, there are good looking Pokemon even within this style. Pikachu just isn't one that really works for me. As if the 18 plus Pikachu wasn't already ridiculously priced at $200, this one is a $70 set. That means if you want the most popular Pokemon in this format, you have to fork over $70, which they pad out because of this Pikachu house build, something I've never seen in any of the games. It's weird, don't get me wrong, but weird isn't always bad. I don't hate it. The woodsy design's kind of cute. The interior is really whatever, like they just throw random objects in here. Like that backing seems like it's a sticker too. And I guess Pikachu's just sleeping with his eyes open. Now this set is loaded with these little tags that the Smart Brick can interact with. Kind of like how the Mario line had these action tiles that the Mario could interact with. So you'll have a sandwich right here, but then it's like, oh, it's a sandwich with this tag slapped on here, which is so awkwardly placed. The reason this is so overpriced at $70 is because this is one of the 2 sets that includes a Smart Brick. So because of that, you're getting a 400 piece set, something that looks like a build that's $40 for $70. You're going to see these a lot in the sets we covered today, where they just have these random side builds that don't really come from the game that seem like padding to make this feel like a more worthwhile value. But yeah, either just sell this Smart Brick Pikachu for like $20 alone, which would still be ridiculous, but would have a much lower entry point into having the focus of this theme, which is Smart Bricks, getting those into the hand of kids, and having the most popular Pokemon affordable. Like, Pikachu's a small Pokemon. Why is he locked to a $70 set? Or B, just get rid of all the smart brick crap and have this a $20 set with like Pikachu and this cute little Pokeball side build, because I do like the Pokeballs across this whole wave right here. You get like Great Balls and Master Balls in various sets. Drone Search for Mythical Mew is a $50 set with 429 pieces. Yeah, $50 is steep for this. I mean, most people are going to buy this just for the Mew. Get rid of everything else, or make this a $20-$25 set with the little Ruin build, and it would have been fine on its own. The drone really stinks. The build for Mew looks good in my opinion. It's not like the best thing ever, but it doesn't feel too restricted by that cube-like design that some of the other Pokemon have. I don't like the gray showing right here, but that's just such a common thing with LEGO, where you'll have pieces that they don't reprint in other colors, so you'll have gray bleeding through. It's not a big deal. Seems to have some posability there with the legs at the bottom. The tail is also posable. I do like that one Mew that is a LEGO Ideas submission for the current contest, which you should go vote for that contest and check out my video on that contest, where they're going to make one of these into an official set based off the Pokemon TCG. But yeah, this still looks good, and the design of the rest of the set, though, it's like a lot of people will buy this just for Mew, and they throw in a lot of filler here. This Pokemon Pokeball drone looks pretty bad if you ask me. Like, what is going on here? This isn't anything from the games. It's just this random Pokeball design. Seemingly the drone also fits the smart brick. The build for the Ruins is like a side play set. That doesn't really do anything interesting as well. And the design of the Great Ball is cool. Like, you could have just made that the side build and make this like a $10 to $15 set. But it seems like LEGO really wants to buff up the prices of these sets instead of giving us a cheap and affordable line, which sure is a problem with so many other LEGO themes, but the side builds in these Pokemon sets are especially weak in my opinion. Of course, things like the drone and the Ruins have different points of these little tiles right here that the smart play brick can interact with to make sounds or whatever, just like, say, the LEGO Mario sets. But again, get rid of the smart brick and make this its own theme, and you could have had something more affordable and less forced in my opinion. And notice how Mew has a clear stand to make Mew float. Alright, what's my favorite set out of all of these revealed? There's two sets, one of which is this $15 Jigglypuff set. Sure, I prefer this to be $10 as opposed to $15, but I'll take it. I saw people dissing when this was leaked a couple weeks ago. I kind of like that Jigglypuff build, I'm sorry. It looks very goofy, but Jigglypuff is an inherently goofy Pokemon, and I don't think the QB style that I keep talking about really limits this Pokemon. I'm interested in this piece up here because I haven't seen this curved piece that they use for the ears. But yeah, the face is pretty derpy looking. I like the big eyes there, and I like the 2x2 tile in the middle. I like the little swirl, those old nice printed pieces. The 1x2 hold oval plate for the arms is pretty clever if you asked me, and at least there's some movement there. And yeah, this isn't ridiculously priced. I mean, 88 pieces and you just get some little side builds. I wish most of the sets were like this, where you get a Pokemon, you get some side builds. It's not focused on any of the smart play crap. I mean, if you look inside, you could remove Jigglypuff's face and put the smart brick in there. That's creepy. And then you'll just have this awkward light in the bottom of Jigglypuff. Again, the integration of these smart brick stuff is so poorly thought out to me, and it's so pointless. But yeah, this is something that doesn't require a smart brick. So as a cute little $10 set, I'm all for it. The $60 Eevee and Lapris set slaps too. The focus is mostly on the Pokemon, not some random side build. And Lapris feels like a substantial Pokemon for this price added on with Eevee. And the design for Lapris actually looks really cool. I like how they do the shaping at the front there. Again, it doesn't look too blocky. They have some nice round shaping all around. How they do the shell at the back is an interesting build. There's some really nice curvature on here, whether it be that shell at the back or this front part right here. The only thing that doesn't work with Lapris is I feel like the neck is a little too long. Not a big deal, though. The build for Eevee is pretty adorable as well. I think that's a Pokemon that translated well to this styling. Not that we didn't already get a great Eevee set. It's actually funny that these are both the same price at $60. The side build isn't the focus here, and the design is just a little shipwreck. Whatever, can't really pinpoint that to a specific thing in-game, but it doesn't take up too much of the set, and you could integrate that into a pirate build, unlike, say, big creepy Pikachu house. And this little map right here, I wish was a specific region or something like that from Pokemon. And it seems like it's a sticker, which is quite unfortunate that they're not relying on just printed pieces. The flag also seems like a sticker. But yeah, all that is side stuff. I could have done with just the Pokemon in here, but it doesn't seem like those added too much to the price of this set. Oh yeah, by the way, these sets will only be available in the United Kingdom, USA, Germany, France, Poland, and Australia at launch. Yeah, crazy because, you know, Japan, the country where Pokemon was made, or Denmark, the home of Lego, not getting sets. Canada, nope. Yeah, it's insane. For Pokemon that didn't really translate well, this Charmander and Geodude's Cavern Clash has a really awkward looking Charmander. This style just does not work for the character. It looks like a bootleg to me. The design of the head shaping looks off, the mouth jutting forward there as well. And with such a smooth front, the tail looks awkward with how blocky that flame gets. The feet look off as well with how the little nails are at the top right there. Yeah, I don't think that works. Geodude looks alright. Like the cube base head part right there looks good. The arms look a little bit off with just how simple those builds are. It's kind of hard to distinguish that those are like the fist of the Geodude. The rest of the Rocky build is pretty disposable, but it doesn't seem like it's taking too much of this set out. The play feature here is a little disc launcher, so I guess that doesn't require smart play. And there's even like an exploding rock feature, which doesn't require smart play, so that's all cool, I guess. Just look at how these Pokemon look with the smart brick added. It's so off, if you ask me. It's a $20 set, which, yeah, the price per piece ratio is fine for that. What I'm noticing is the ones that don't include the smart brick have good prices for the pieces that are included, and I guess the size of things included. It's just that there's so many filler builds I want to cut out of these, and I just want those Pokemon. Next is Berry Bash with Bulbasaur and Bidoof. Say that 3 times fast. Berry Bash with Bulbasaur and Bidoof. Berry Bash with Bulbasaur and Bidoof. Berry Bash with Bulbasaur and Bidoof. I did it. I freaking did it. The design here has a pretty good Bulbasaur build. Like, I think they did the back of Bulbasaur really well with that bulb there. The printing at the front for the face doesn't look like it's flattened or anything like that. Like, the details that need to be printed look fine there, which is not the same I can say with Bidoof. Like, I love Bidoof as just a random Pokemon there. Kind of a beloved, almost meme Pokemon from one of my favorite generations. But having the teeth and the nose just printed flat on this front design looks off in my opinion. I think the body shaping's fine. It's just that it should have had more of a 3-dimensional face if you ask me. What I do like about this is that the side build is actually something from the game. You have one of those berry machines, so that's kind of cool that they took something that you find in game instead of just making up random crap. You can see there's different berries here. It has a feature to twist it as well with those cog pieces in yellow at the base. There's also that Z-Blob funny looking piece in a funny white color. Alright. This is actually $20 and it has 240 pieces, which makes it have one of the best price per piece ratios. And yeah, I mean, I would look at this and think they'd put this at 25, so I'm really happy with the price here. It's not a bad set, I just wish Bidoof had a different face. About that 2 smart brick set, there's the Charizard and Jolteon set, which is ridiculously priced. It's 751 pieces, 120 bucks. Yeah, Charizard, one of the most popular Pokemon, so you're gonna have to fork over a lot because it comes with 2 smart bricks. Thankfully, as awkward as those smart brick integrations look, you can see that they do have an image of the smart brick part not present in the build. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that means with this set, with the Pikachu set, we are going to get replacement bricks if you don't want to involve the awkward looking smart brick where Charizard's crotch glows. I will say the build for Charizard isn't too bad. Like, compare that to the one from the $650 set, and I've seen some people react to the leaks of this saying that they like this version better. I still like that $650 version best, but I do wish that was something that they just sold separately instead of locking it to a $650 set. They actually use the same wings between the two, which is kind of funny. But yeah, the shaping with the head and everything looks pretty good here. Jolteon, on the other hand, I don't know if they translated that right. I don't like how they have these random studs showing at the side here. It's just so distracting to me. And something about the facial expression looks off in my opinion. Like, Jolteon's kind of fluffy and cute to me. This one just looks weirdly robotic. The design doesn't actually have much of a side build. Like, we just have this little post right here, which seemingly has some smart brick interactions and things like that. And there's even a Pokeball build, like what we got with the Pikachu set. Oh, there's also a build for a potion, which is a cute idea, but the 2 reasons it doesn't work is because it's compromised by smart play. Like, they had to fit the tile on there, so they made it enlarged, and that tile is just part of the build. Looks very gross. But Yeah, this comes with like a charging station for the smart brick and everything there, and I do like that the main focus of the build is the Pokemon instead of some random ass side build. But again, it's so ridiculously priced because of the smart play feature. It's something that I can't really recommend. There's a better version of this, which is this Umbreon and Garchomp build, which it's kind of cool to get Umbreon in Wave 1. That's one of my favorite evolutions. The design still has some awkward studs showing at the side, but it's not too noticeable compared to Jolteon. And I think the design of the head looks better on Umbreon, the expression and everything there. Sure, the legs still look a little bit robotic for my taste, but I think they did an excellent job with Garchomp. Like, yeah, it's showing a lot more studs than some of these other Pokemon, but something about the shaping and everything here I think works really well if you ask me. This one isn't ridiculously overpriced, which I like because there's no smart plays forced in. This one's $80 for 831 pieces, so also not a bad price per piece ratio there if that's how you judge things. And then again, this is just 2 Pokemon for $80. These are substantial builds, mind you, but I could see people finding that not worth the value in that regard. This one includes another Pokeball build, but this one is especially big, like compared to other ones. There's a trophy build, which I like how they hoop these parts right here. That's actually like a pretty cool design for that trophy. This hits a lot of the same notes as a Charizard one, sans Smart Brick, and I think I just prefer this in value. There's a Mewtwo set, which I don't know if they did my boy Mewtwo right. It looks off if you ask me. The thin arms right there is distracting. I do like how they do like the lower legs. Like they get the roundness shaping not only with the thighs there, but also with the feet going on there. That looks all good. The face is fine with like the printed eyes and everything there. The uses of those clipped fin pieces up top do give it a very robot look that I don't like though. There's this really awkward like specimen chamber build, which doesn't have any glass or anything like that. It just kind of goes around the top there. That has a play feature of bursting open, but yeah, it looks like an incomplete build if you ask me. I guess I like this little screen at the side, and I think this is only set with a Master Ball, which that's a cool build. Did I mention the Mewtwo set's price? It's $70, and that has 605 pieces. So yeah, that one doesn't have a great price per piece ratio either. The value of that looks like a $50 set. So yeah, not worth the price either. This Cubone vs Gengar set, which has like a spookier theme, is really funny to me because Cubone might be the best translation of any Pokemon in this whole theme. Like aside from maybe Eevee, the 18+ version. Not that the one for this scale is bad. They just did a great job with Cubone. Like, oh my gosh, they went hard on there. Like, looks perfect in my opinion. No complaints. But then you look at Gengar, and Gengar looks off. Like, it's way too oblong in my opinion. You just have this tongue constantly sticking out, which is like jutting forward instead of being all like droopy and things like that. I don't think that looks good at all. So, okay, it looks like you could easily switch the tongue back and forth, which is kind of fun at least. The build for this graveyard also takes up a lot of this set, which is just random stuff. Lots of these little hit these paddle things that we've seen throughout the other sets, but you could see how somehow that like knocks Gengar off or something like that. There's also one at the side with this tree. Yeah, I'm not really sold on any of the play features of these sets, and this is another one that feels overpriced and has a lot of builds I just don't care about. Give me Cubone for like a $10 to $20 set, and that would have been an instant buy. Also, this is the only set with an Ultra Ball from my understanding. It doesn't help that this is one of the worst price per piece ratios of the line, where it's $90 for 782 pieces. This looks like a $70 set at most. This Squirtle set has a cool Squirtle figure. I like the build there, the roundness and everything translates well if you ask me, but yeah, why is this as expensive as it is? Why do we need a set with a Squirtle car? It looks unlike anything I've seen from the games. It looks weird. The design of this isn't even like a fascinating weird. The shell design doesn't translate well. It honestly looks like a Sonic car. It's so awkward, and we could just get rid of all of that, just release a set of Squirtle on his own. Or, hey, you loved releasing a $650 set of the final evolutions of these starters from Gen 1. Why don't you release a 3-pack set of just the build with the 3 starter Pokemon from Kanto? I mean, I like the translation of all of these except Charmander, but yeah, that would make a solid $20 to $30 set. I wouldn't have minded that, but I'm so unenthusiastic to recommend this to people because it's like, yeah, there's one thing I like in this whole build, which is Squirtle. Okay, that's not entirely true. The design of this sandwich right here is pretty cute, if you ask me. There's also a build of a Pokeball and what's seemingly like a little gadget right here. I guess it's like a remote control car. I'm a little confused there. And yeah, there's even stud shooters on this car, which looks so awkward. I don't even think this set was rumored, but there is a set with all 3 starters of a specific region. These are the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon, which is past my time. I mean, Gen 1 through 5 die hard for the most part. And then, you know, what, 6 through 8, I played, especially Sword and Shield, if you remember the Just 2 Mom streams. Only real ones would remember that. But yeah, this is Gen 9, so I'm not familiar with these. So I'm sorry if I mispronounce anything, but it's Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley. The translations of each of them is interesting. Like, Sprigatito's my favorite of the bunch, and they did make the design of the body chunkier, but it works, honestly. It looks adorable, if you ask me. I like the printing at the front. I like the use of this piece, which I think is the first time we're getting in that color. I remember that from the Snoopy set. Quaxly looks okay. Like, I love the hair part, which is such an iconic part of that Pokemon. I like the posability on the arms. I think the worst one's Fuecoco, because I feel like they miss a lot of the roundness at the side, and the arms don't seem really accurate in my opinion. But none of these are bad in any regard. I also like this little side build, which has different types and like a little spinning wheel. I'm getting original Sorting Hat set vibes, which is a set from my childhood. There's a Pokeball included in here, and this is $35 for 313 pieces, which, I mean, I look at this and I'm like, this is a $30 set, but not a bad deal at all, considering it's the cheapest way to get 3 different Pokemon, and I'm glad they put all of the starters from this region in here. That's actually something that's very welcome. The better Squirtle set is this giveaway promo, which I don't like how giveaway promos are locked to such a limited time of being able to purchase them. You have to spend a specific amount of money. Just put those on store shelves as well, and it would be a win-win for everybody. But yeah, this is a Ditto Squirtle. Super cute design. I mean, it's basically the same build as Squirtle from this set, but I love the Ditto face on there. And the side build here is actually a fun one that's relevant to the games, where you have a TV. And the frame for the TV's like Pokeball theme, that's adorable. The sticker is really detailed. I like the Squirtle artwork on there as if it's playing on the TV screen. This sticker is adorable. And I think this remote is another sticker. It's just missing a gaming console, like in the games, you know, they'd have like a Switch or even, I think, a SNES in the first games in front of the TVs and stuff like that. But yeah, I think this is an adorable build. And now I know people are going to want some Poketopia sets. So I will give LEGO props for not making a Pokemon exclusive to a giveaway promo. Well, I mean, I guess technically this is Ditto. We don't have Ditto in any of the other sets, but I'm sure we'll get a set with an actual Ditto eventually. This is just Ditto transformed into Squirtle, so it doesn't feel like people are missing out on too much if they don't get this set. Currently, we don't know how this will be available, just that it will be available with early purchases in August. There's no more info on that. So yeah, that's all of the sets that were revealed. We're still missing 2 polybags, but geez, this was a bunch of sets. I mean, like I said, there's some things I really like here, but I think as a whole, I'm disappointed that we're focusing on smart play for these sets, where there's a lot of compromises because of that. And a lot of times where it's like, okay, I want this one Pokemon, but it's stuck to a set that is filled with a lot of filler. I don't know. I do love sets in here. Let me know which is your favorite in the comments below and what you think about this whole smart play situation with Pokemon. Seriously, click that like button if you enjoyed this video, and click the subscribe button because we're going to be covering more LEGO Pokemon as the days come. And I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.